Hi, I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy, and we're two tenderfoot tourists. Welcome to episode 78, the one about charming romantic getaways, part 1.
Sandy, it is crazy. It's been almost a year since the last time we recorded an episode about romantic getaways.
I know, and that also means it's almost been a year since our son Kyle got married to Alyssa, and they're the sweetest. I just love them.
Yeah, it was an exciting time for us all, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were planning at that time to send them on their little honeymoon for their romantic getaway.
Exactly, which is an honorable mention for this episode, too. So, what was it? White House.
Right, the White House Hotel, is that correct?
Yeah, White House Hotel in Biloxi,
Mississippi. And we loved it. We got to visit it first because we wanted to make sure it was okay for them, and it was gorgeous and romantic, and we definitely want to make sure we mentioned them today.
Oh, yeah. If you want a place for great food, that's your place. And you got also some casinos and stuff there.
And great food.
And great food. Did we mention great food?
Did we? We did say the episode already, right?
No, it was episode 32, if you're interested in going and listening to that.
And it's worth your while because it's a beautiful place.
It is. And also in that episode, we give like our idea and perspective on what makes for a romantic getaway as well.
Right, and we talked about food.
And we talked about a lot of food. I think we covered food in that episode, didn't we?
We might have talked about food. That's the best foodcation I've ever had in my life for that 3-day weekend.
Goodness, we ate so much.
Okay, we're getting distracted already.
But this episode, I mean, these places are really very charming. And on top of that, they are getaways. I mean, they are out.
Yeah, there are some that are just like totally away.
Away from prying eyes or any kind of people and everything. It's crazy what we found. And it's kind of funny what a secluded romantic or what I don't know. You need to listen.
You don't say.
You need to listen and
Steve, you're saying too much. You're giving it all away.
I did, didn't I? Okay, so
he's excited.
I am a little excited. So just let me see. The honorable mention was definitely the White House.
Yes.
And in Biloxi, Mississippi, and then the second was in Hot Springs, Arkansas, the Waters Hotel. Right.
That was a sweet romantic getaway you did for me for my birthday, and it was wonderful. I have a very romantic husband.
I'm not that romantic.
You are. You're not about flowers and candy, but I'm not either.
No,
you know
not.
What will make me feel relaxed and feel special, and you know how to just push that button just perfect to make me feel that way. So
wow.
I love you.
I got a lot to live up to now.
His whole head bald and everything is red.
I am really red right now, I'm sure. Okay, so the other honorable mention we thought, because we can't really bring everything in it, and the two that we just mentioned we had visited before, so we have firsthand account of how nice those places are. Destination-wise, we have an honorable mention of Charleston, South Carolina. And that is a place that you and I have really, we really want to go. We're
dying to go there. There's so much history there, and just the beauty of the place. I'm really wanting to go there. I'm chomping at the bit one of these days to make our way there.
So do you want me to just give that brief description of the place so that people understand?
Tell them a little about it.
Fewer things are more romantic than a bit of southern charm. Cobblestone streets, horse-drawn carriages, and historically rich architecture make Charleston a win-win in the realm of romance. Plus, the plethora, I know I said plethora.
Plethora.
I know. The plethora of quaint B&Bs and boutique hotels only help to boost the town's allure, some with fireplace and antique-filled rooms, dining at Circa? Anyway, did you say Circa?
Sure.
Circa, C-I-R-C-A, 1886, former carriage house turned restaurant located in Wentworth Mansion, before popping into Charleston's Grill for live jazz, which sounds awesome. And romantic evening isn't complete without a walk through the French Quarter. There's a French Quarter in Charleston.
I want to go there so bad.
South Carolina, yeah. So we were in Myrtle Beach, just north of that. And
I have a question.
Yeah.
Jefe, would you say that I have a plethora of piñatas?
Yes, El Guapo, you have a plethora of piñatas. Yes.
Yes, a plethora.
Can you tell me what a plethora is? I would like to know if you know what a plethora is.
That movie's so funny.
It's so funny.
This dates us, and it also tells about our humor.
That's true. So enjoy. All right, so turn us off. I don't care either way.
Wait, is that a mail plane?
How can you tell?
Let's keep moving. Hey.
Okay.
Okay, we're messed up here.
All right, we're 6 minutes in and we haven't gone anywhere yet.
Where to next?
Okay, so let's, Richard, do you want to do the tropical first or you want to do an urban setting first?
Let's go urban.
Okay, so you want to start there first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I found a place that supposedly is very romantic, and it's Providence, Rhode Island, of all places.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You saying that right off the bat, when you mentioned that you were going to talk about Rhode Island, I was like, really?
Really?
What's so special about Rhode Island? Well, here we go.
Well, it's kind of interesting because of the fact that you'll find you have a riverfront modeled after Venice, Italy there.
Which makes me crazy because I want to do so many things like that.
And it really does the Venice, Italy, as far as like you got the 18th, 19th century homes that line up and down the waterways. And they have a place called Water Park Place. And what it is, it's an attempt to bring some interest back into the downtown area of
I get you. Yeah.
Providence, Rhode Island. I compiled all these different things that are considered romantic that you can do while you're in Providence, Rhode Island. And they describe Water Park Place as like one of the best places to go because everything was within walking distance there. And stroll along cobblestone walkways and watch the street artists sketching the city, enjoy lovely strolls by the river, past Venice-inspired bridges, or see some wonderful public art, all at this well-designed 4-acre park and scenic riverwalk, considered to be the heart of the restoration, that's the word I was looking for.
Restoration, yes.
Of the Providence downtown area. Stop in and eat at the New Rivers, founded in 1990, a bistro and a historic warehouse, which was formerly the Congdon. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Wow.
Carpenter Mill along the river. Okay, you can stop in there. It's a bistro, American eats and American custom. Someone described it like this. They said that the river is fine cuisine in an intimate, charming, and home-style environment. And it's more affordable. That was something else. If you're looking for a romantic destination, an affordable, nice, charming place for you to go, that supposedly the river restaurant is the place to go. But then they also have upscale ones. They have one called the Meal Tavern and the Hemingways, not Hemingways.
The Hemingways.
Hemingways. Okay. They serve seafood. The Mills Tavern is also within the same area. They serve steaks. They have some seafood, but it's mostly steaks. So those are notably actually a little more expensive.
Let's just go eat both.
Yeah, let's just eat it all.
We'll just have seafood and steaks.
And then your Mills Tavern would be your place.
Yeah.
But what really makes this place stand out, I mean, it really, when I say that they were taking Venice, Italy serious, they actually have gondolas there.
Okay, you mentioned that to me, and it just made my heart melt. I've always wanted to take a ride in a gondola. And from what I understand, am I correct in saying that they also sing to you?
Yes, they have the gondolier who sings to you.
Yes.
And so they have all kinds of families can go on it. It can be a couple, it can be a single, whatever it is. But I checked out the prices because this is our romantic episode. Romantic. There is, I gave the price for a trip for two is $89. Now, the $89 for the gondola that goes up and down the river, which is called, I'm going to pronounce this, Woonasquatuck.
Oh boy.
Woonasquatuck.
Remember, folks, we have told you time and again we don't pronounce well.
This is not good. Okay, so
wait till I get to Hawaiian words. Keep going.
We're going to get hate mail. Okay, so but any mail will be good at this point, right?
I know, right?
Okay.
Talk to us, people.
Talk to us. Rivers. It says basically you go up and down this river and see the sights of the Renaissance city like you've never seen it before. All trips are 40 minutes long and are open March through November. So February is out of season. If you want to do this for Valentine's Day, but summer, hey, go for it. Spring and fall.
And that's something really important to think about with any time we talk about a destination is you need to research when the best and worst times to go there are. You want to protect yourself. In
fact, what I have found is the best time to actually go to Providence, Rhode Island is in the fall. Because it's not nearly as hot, and you got the changing of the leaves and all that stuff, so it's really kind of nice and cool. But March through November is the only time that they are open. A trip for two is about $89, which includes an ice bucket, glasses, BOYB, for your, beer.
Oh, you bring
wine.
whatever you want to chill.
Exactly. Handmade Italian wine biscuits and a little singing from your gondolier. And your gondolier would be happy to point out the sights as you're going down the river and answer any questions you may have during your trip. Now, that is one of the things. Now, in February, if you're looking for something romantic to do, they actually have ice skating at Alex and Annie City Center.
Okay, ice skating's really cool. I've done that before. It's been years, but I have to say, you better have some strong ankles. Because it's tiring on your ankles. It really is.
The good news is you don't have to bring your own sandals. You don't have to bring your own skates. They actually have a rental there.
Right.
And that is considered like one of the favorite things to do downtown. And remember that one guy, what is it, Eric, the travel guy? We watched the video on him last night. And he said one of the things that he loves about Providence, Rhode Island is that people down there are very proud of their city and they're very happy to see people visiting.
Right. They don't go, oh, tourists. Instead, they're like, oh, where are you visiting from? Do you like this? What do you like about it?
Yeah.
You should try this.
And they're very open to give you suggestions and everything like that. So you have like a win-win when you go down there.
So, of course, what am I going to say right now? Talk to the locals there. Ask them where to eat. Because if they're that happy to tell you where the best places are, they're going to tell you good stuff.
Yep. And you know what? When you find a place like that, you want to keep it to yourself. You want to keep it to yourself,
it's like Orange
right?
Beach. We kind of wanted to keep it our secret paradise, and well, we blew that. Everybody goes there
now. Yeah. But the other thing that they do is called WaterFires. Now, this was a nonprofit organization in order to bring, what was the word I used to the downtown area?
Restoration.
They're in an effort to bring more people down there, more culture and everything like that. They actually have like this thing called WaterFire, and I found the description online of what it is. You read it.
Yeah, sounds good. WaterFires over 80 sparkling bonfires, the fragrant scent of aromatic wood smoke, the flickering firelight on the arched bridges, the silhouettes of the fire tenders passing by the flames, the torch-lit vessels traveling down the river, and the enchanting music from around the world engage all the senses and emotions of those who stroll the paths of Water Place Park. WaterFire has captured the imagination of over 10 million visitors, bringing life to downtown and revitalizing Rhode Island's capital city. Okay, so revitalizing is what you're looking for.
Revitalizing, that's the word I was looking for.
So my thought is, it really doesn't explain it very well. It just tells some things that make your thoughts go to, ooh, pretty.
Yeah.
Is this what I'm understanding? Are all these boats, gondolas, whatever, going down through there with torches?
They have like these, I don't want little structures, if you will, or fire pits going up and down the river. And
so there's bonfires going down the river.
Correct.
Very cool.
And they have them all on fire. If you go online and look, you can find pictures. It's actually very pretty. And then you have like some sort of fire show on this boat that goes floating down as well. Now, speaking of the gondolas, you mentioned the gondolas. You can have time on the gondola at that time, but you have to book it way in advance. And it's, instead of a 40-minute trip, it's a 30-minute trip.
So instead of sitting on the side and watching it all go by, it's like a parade on the water with flame.
It really is.
Cool.
It's very much like a parade, just simply because of the fact, if you look at any of the photos, you'll see people lining the river. Okay, so, by the way, the water park place is central to everything that we are discussing in this particular portion. I mean, everything's within walking distance of the restaurants.
See, I love that. When
gondolas.
When you can just park it and then walk everywhere, that's perfect.
It is great.
And it's a money saver.
And there you go. And that's something people need to know, is if you're looking for a romantic getaway, like a weekend getaway, that's it right there.
Absolutely agree.
Save a lot of money. And just a little extra trivia, George M. Cohan, you ever hear of him before?
That sounds very familiar to me.
An American entertainer, playwright, composer, lyricist?
Lyricist.
Yep. Actor, singer, dancer, and producer. He was born in Providence, Rhode Island.
Okay.
In 1878. He went on to write Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Oh.
And Grand Old Flag.
You're a grand old flag. You're a high
I knew that was going to happen.
I've sang that to our kids since they were
I know,
tiny.
right?
And Yankee Doodle also.
Yeah. So anyway, he was born there. So I don't know how anybody really cares about that, but I found it fascinating.
I think it's very fascinating. Is there any more about Rhode Island?
No, that is it on Rhode Island. And the thing is, it does make a person want to go and visit there. Everything that I researched and looked at, and I hope
to me
what we brought to the podcast.
It sounds to me like if you like hot springs, then you'll like Providence, Rhode Island.
I would agree.
Where it's low key, chill, relax, just be with the one you love, type of stuff.
Really, it is.
So that sounds really nice.
It sounds very nice. It sounds very calm, very relaxing, and I would love to try it out. Anybody out there willing to support Two Tenderfoot Tourists would be willing to pay for our trip there.
We've said this before. We're willing to make the sacrifice.
We'll make that sacrifice.
Just to investigate it for you. To introduce a little levity to the podcast, we again bring to you words of wisdom from You Know You've Reached Middle Age if
you recognize Led Zeppelin songs that have been turned into elevator music.
Wow.
A whole lot of love.
Okay, you do that.
A whole lot of love.
I totally hear you do that.
You know what's so disturbing about the whole fact that our popular songs we grew up with are now music? And you play it. I mean, you'd never think of hearing Ozzy Osbourne in a grocery store, but you do.
It's funny.
It's hilarious. And I'm thinking, okay.
Back when we were kids, moms were going, no, you're not listening to that.
It's like, you're listening to devil music. Now we're playing it in the Super Center,
Yeah, it's funny.
Crazy Train. Crazy Train. Now we can move on to something charming and a more tropical.
Okay, I just happened across this place, and I'm totally impressed. And if we ever go to Hawaii, I want to stay there. Now I'm just totally sucked in.
Yes.
It is actually the treehouse at Kilauea Volcano.
Kilauea.
Yeah, Kilauea. And that is probably the only Hawaiian word I'm going to pronounce correctly because most of them, I tried to look them up and they did not give me the pronunciation where I could hear it. So it was very frustrating.
What did we say about the Hawaiian language?
It is romantic and beautiful.
It is very beautiful.
I think everything about that place seems very romantic to me. Mm-hmm. The tropical setting, the ocean. Of course, you got the ocean, the sunsets, the way the women dress, the way everybody's hair is down and flowing and beautiful. The flower in the hair, the little umbrellas and the drinks, the language, the music, the dance. Everything about it's very romantic. So, of course, it's beautiful.
So, and naturally, we'd find a romantic destination in Hawaii.
Absolutely.
It seems like a no-brainer.
So this place is really interesting. It is actually a real treehouse at the summit of Kilauea. Mm-hmm. I'm really paranoid about that, sorry. At the summit of Kilauea. It holds 2 guests with 1 bedroom, 1 bed, 1 bath. It's less than 5 minutes from the main gates to Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. The national park borders the end of the street that can be accessed only through the main gate about 2 miles away. It's not a heavily touristed area and is central to other adventures on this part of the island.
Right.
So that's pretty cool, right? Well,
so it's really close to everything, all the action, essentially.
To other activities. You can't say all the action because there's several islands.
Oh, well, okay. I see
so you have to keep that in mind.
All the action on that island.
A lot of it, yes.
Okay.
They do recommend that you rent a vehicle because where a lot of it is close by, there is still a lot to see. If you go over to the national park, there's the trek there 2 miles, and then you want to drive through the national park.
Oh, okay.
And make stops. So they recommend you rent a car. You can get a taxi or Uber, but to get it to come out there and drive you all over the place, that can get quite expensive. So they say it's actually cheapest to just rent a car.
Just rent a car.
It's a custom designed treehouse built by the same crew you see in Treehouse Masters on TV. Mm-hmm. And the treehouse itself was built on 2 levels connected via a ship's ladder.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
The main level includes the living room with 2 chairs and an ottoman, flat screen for viewing TV or playing CDs,
Right.
Built-in indoor window table and stools. It has a small kitchen, but they say really it's better for heating up the food you bring back from the restaurants than it is for actually cooking anything because it's mostly just a little microwave and a few pots and pans. And
so
there's
it's
not much
like
to it.
A tiny little kitchenette.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Outdoor shower. It has bamboo poles as your walls. Mm-hmm. That looks pretty cool to me, although it'd be intimidating. And a composting toilet and vanity. That is the 2 reasons. The small kitchen would be one reason I wouldn't want to live there forever.
Right.
And a composting toilet. That's the nice way of saying a porta potty.
Yeah.
So I'd be can't stay there forever.
Not until I have like a septic tank or something that can get that stuff away from me.
Yeah. And then there's outdoors on the lanai. There is a cedar hot tub, and I mean this is
you can find this
the deck.
video of it online. People taking a tour of it,
it's
and it's
beautiful.
It's really very
the hot tub looks pretty tiny. I don't know if you noticed that. It looks pretty tiny, but it was still very cool. And the upper level is also upper canopy with birds actually flying around beneath you sometimes.
Wow.
There's a queen-size bed with a memory foam mattress. The windows, other than the French doors onto the lanai, are stained glass made by a local artist. Something unique about this place is it is made mostly of recycled materials.
Really?
The floor and the cedar siding are from a church that had been torn down. Interesting, right?
That is very fascinating.
So, anywho, the name of the actual tree house is a Hawaiian name, and I'm going to do my best because it is beautiful. Mahinui Nalani. And I am so sorry if I butchered that because it's so beautiful. But it means the beautiful sky.
That's awesome.
It is. It hangs in ohia trees growing over a lava tube in the rainforest that extends into Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. The treehouse was conceived as a companion to the Rainforest Pavilion that was built, a Bali-style structure a couple of blocks away, and it's intended for like an intimate wedding venue.
Oh, okay. So they have like a recreation center of some sort?
Right. And you can actually get married there and rent the little treehouse, and that's your honeymoon.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
It's very sweet, right? And you can actually, if you go on Airbnb, you can see photos of both of those things. There's not a lot of the actual pavilion. You can also book through Airbnb.
Okay.
You can look on Airbnb, and you can also go through Facebook because they have they have a Facebook page.
Oh.
Their Facebook page is Hawaiian Treehouse. Now I'm paranoid, so I'm looking again. Hawaii Treehouse is their Facebook page.
Hawaii Treehouse.
Yes. And you could go there and you can see pictures and you can get information. And you can probably, I'm sure, like most Facebook pages, communicate with them if you want to ask more questions. The treehouse is accessed via a path that is about 100 feet into the forest. Mm-hmm. The ascent is somewhat steep once you reach the lava rocks. They also provide bathrobes, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Be kind of nice when you get out of the hot tub, I think. There are plates and utensils there, so you can bring in takeout and enjoy your meal either indoors or outdoors. Mm-hmm. They do recommend that you put food away properly and your trash away properly because they said this is out in the forest.
Right.
So guess what? Critters. And that is exactly what they called them on the site.
That's kind of funny.
And that they're including animals and insects. And they said there are, once the sun goes down and the lights are on inside, the insects show up.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as a lot of places are, but you do have to be aware that that is the case because it's tropical.
Well, we watched a video and they actually looked at photos and they have a mosquito net that goes around the bed above.
Yeah, I'm like, that looks beautiful, but I bet that is also functional.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny is because what you're giving our listeners is a combination between roughing it and also a bit of little luxury, if you will. I mean,
I would call it luxury camping.
Luxury camping. I would go with
That's what I would call
big time.
That's the part where it's that little intimate romantic setting. Mm-hmm. But here's the part that would be over the top exciting to me.
Okay.
It's right there, of course, like they said, just a couple miles from the entrance of the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park.
Right.
I've been online and looked at this.
Okay.
And you can walk all over this cooled lava.
Yeah.
And it looks all like a black pearl. I mean, it's incredible looking. So there are hiking trails in and around the park, through rainforest, desert, volcanic devastation, even a path with footprints preserved from an eruption over 100 years ago.
Wow, really?
There are petroglyphs. Less than a mile from the treehouse there is Volcano Village.
Oh, yeah, I heard you talk about Volcano Village.
And it has restaurants and art galleries and a couple of places you can buy gas for your rental car. If you choose to walk there, they say you must take a flashlight with you because it seems fine when you're walking there, but trying to walk back when the sun's going down, it gets confusing.
Oh.
And they do have a flashlight there that they'll provide for you. So just make sure you take one with you. Oh, one of the things I want to make sure I remind everybody is this is an active volcano.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
be
not
sure
a
to tell
volcano
people
that's
that.
been sleeping for years and years. It's active.
Anytime someone stays there, they said, don't worry about the volcano because the way the wind pushes, you won't smell any of the smoke or steam or whatever is coming
Right.
off the volcano. It goes in a different direction.
There are, they do tours of lava tubes. We watched a little bit of videos on that too. I would recommend looking it up because you walk through these, it's like a cave and you can see tree roots hanging down and stuff like that. And I mean, it's just totally fascinating. You do need to also realize the neighborhood is rainforest with many unbuilt upon lots around you. So it's not like you're off and this thing is off miles and miles and miles away from everybody. It's actually in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
But a lot of the lots haven't been built upon yet. So even though it is in a neighborhood, you have a view of just trees
Right.
because you're in a rainforest and it's really dense. There is the floor. This is different levels. Very jungly with ginger, native ferns, and trees. Then the mid canopy, and that's where the tree ferns are, some 20 feet tall and over 100 years old. Then the upper canopy is a mixture of ohia trees and red lahua flowers.
That sounds pretty.
In the upper canopy flowers. That would be amazing. Hawaiian holly and other things like that. So that you have the different levels.
Right.
And you'd be able to experience all that because you're climbing up into your
So
tree
basically,
house.
I mean, even if in the summertime, you're going to get a lot of cool shade, I guess.
Oh, yeah, and color.
And color, yeah.
And keep in mind also it's tropical, so yeah, you're going to get rain some too.
That is true.
Now, something that's worth mentioning, so that if you do decide to go there, that you're not disappointed when you get there, is when you drive up, you will notice that there are neighbors across the street and next door. You will forget about them, though, because you walk through the moon gate and enter the world of all the trees with the treehouse. And it kind of cuts, you just, you forget they're there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes of a late afternoon and evening, you may hear a local Hula Halau practicing. It says, we hope you find the sounds of laughter in Hawaiian language and music adds to the ambiance. I'm wondering if they're talking about those guys that like twirl fire.
Oh, yeah. What are those called? I don't remember what those called.
This says halua. No, not halua. Oh, I'm tanking it. Hula halau. Oh,
Hula Halau?
maybe. We're going to say hula halau.
Okay.
Practicing.
Where are you finding this information? Is it TripAdvisor?
This was all off Airbnb.
Oh, is this all on
This is
Airbnb?
all off of there.
So if anybody wants to read it for themselves.
Yeah, it's incredible the stuff they tell you on there. And I'll be honest, I cut out a whole bunch.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because it just went on and on. But, I mean, I did think it was worth mentioning that because I didn't want them to think they were totally secluded for miles and miles. There are neighbors. It's just that once you go through that dense forest, just 100 feet, I think they said, you forget.
Right.
But they do want to make sure you understand. You may hear some Hawaiian music and some laughter and from people practicing.
Yeah, that totally, but I mean, still, how much does this thing cost per night?
Okay, hold on a second. I had to do this because it was really bugging the daylights out of me. What the Hula Halau is a school in which the ancient Hawaiian dance from hula is taught. It's a dance group, traditional dance.
Hawaiian traditional
dance, yes.
Okay.
So
you're going to have the drums going
oh, yeah.
when the girl's doing the hula thing or the guy's throwing up the fire?
Yep.
That sounds
Then I'm going to be
awesome.
like, can we come watch you practice?
I want to watch you practice. Oh my goodness. You got food?
I'll bring cookies.
I'll bring cookies. I'll fix them in the microwave.
Before I tell you how much it costs, I want to tell you something that's really important for people to understand. Yes, it's at a volcano. Yes, it's active. And no, you better not cancel.
Yeah, I know, right?
There is a window where you can cancel, but they have a very strict cancellation policy. Within the first 48 hours after making your reservation, you can cancel as long as it's at least 14 days out.
Okay.
And get a full refund. But after that 48 hours, you can cancel up to 7 days before your check-in and get a 50% refund minus the service fee. Mm-hmm. So they're going to take half of what you paid and take a service fee off of that and then give you what's left.
Right.
So you're going to lose a lot.
Well, if you're going to do anything Airbnb, you're going to notice that some of the things, like some of the cancellation policies are pretty strict. I mean, they are crazy strict. So
if you are
read the fine print.
You betcha, because 7 days before your check-in, if a volcano erupts and you don't go and you don't reschedule,
right,
you lose your money.
Right.
Period. All of it.
With that being said, get vacation insurance.
That's what they encourage. Yes, that's what they put all over that. Anywho. Now I'll tell you how much it costs.
Okay.
If you decide to do this, it's not cheap. It is $289 per night.
Wow.
That being said, we've seen some hotels online that we've looked at that we ended up using points for that were 200 and something a night.
That is true, but you can't use points on this one.
Exactly.
Not that I know of.
That's the big thing. But, I mean, it's a pretty incredible opportunity. If I was able to go, yeah, I'd want to.
Yeah. You know what, come to think of it, I want to say there is, if anybody out there listening knows of a way to use points towards Airbnb, kindly let us know. Listen, we have covered a lot of territory. We've covered something tropical. We covered something urban.
Yeah, and I mean, I honestly was so surprised to see how much of an episode we had in just two things.
Just two things. And we still have two other properties in order to bring to the podcast.
So what does that mean for us?
We're going to have a charming, what is it? What do we call this episode? A charming romantic getaways. Part 2. So, and in that one, just to give you, to kind of whet your appetite, we have a comparison between like something roughing it. I mean, really roughing it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And then you have one that is like Pamper City.
Isn't it like a fire lookout tower?
Yeah. It's both of them are treehouse related sort of style. One is a treehouse. One is a fire.
It's a fire spotter tower.
Forest ranger lookout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've changed it to a place where you can stay. But
on a mountain.
Yes.
So we'll talk about that one. And as usual, we have ourselves a really, really great episode number 78.
Yeah, 78. The one about charming romantic getaways. Part 1.
Two Tenderfoot Tourist is a weekly family-friendly podcast. If you like Two Tenderfoot Tourist podcast, be sure to subscribe on Apple, Google Play, Stitcher, and Spotify. Tune in. There's all different sorts of platforms to find us on. To get in touch with us and chat about this podcast or even your travel experiences, simply email us at tenderfoottourist@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Keep those suggestions coming, and maybe you'll give us our best episode of 2019. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Sandy.
Until next time.
Stay tender.